Your warm-up says name two angles that are adjacent to angle ABC. Let's pause the video and give you guys a couple minutes to work on this. So one set of angles that is adjacent, meaning next to ABC. Remember, ABC is this one. So it can share a line with the CB line, which would make angle CBD a pair that's adjacent. Let's go ahead and write that down. So angle let's try that again. Angle CBD is adjacent, and then angle, this line here, is being shared with angle ABE, which is adjacent. So angle ABE. Okay, today's essential question is, how can you classify two angles as complementary or supplementary? Go ahead and write that down. We can pause right here and give you a couple minutes to write this down. So we are going to be talking about two kinds of angles today. One of them is called complementary. It says in words, two angles are complementary angles, go ahead and circle that vocabulary word, when the sum of their measures is 90 degrees. So for example, 30 degrees and 60 degrees when added together is 90 degrees. They are complementary. Notice that these two angles here are not necessarily connected. They don't have to be connected to be complementary. Whereas this one here, angle 1 and 2, are complementary and connected. That's another way that you might see it. This red square, of course, means 90-degree angle, so that's a big hint that they are complementary. The second type of angle that we're going to be talking about is supplementary angles. In words, it says two angles are supplementary angles, go ahead and circle that, when the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. Let's look at our two examples. These two separate angles are 135 and 45, which when added together will give you 180 degrees, so they are supplementary. And here's another example of two adjacent angles, angle 3 and 4. They make a straight line, so that's your one big hint, is when two angles make a straight line, you know they are supplementary. Let's take a look at example 1, classifying pairs of angles. Tell whether the angles are complementary, supplementary, or neither. Let's pause the video and have you try this. Okay, A, 70 and 110. Well, if you were to add 70 degrees plus 110 degrees, what do you get? You would get 180 degrees. So your answer for letter A would be supplementary. Because we know that angles that add up to 180 degrees are supplementary. If you look at B, 49 and 41 degrees, when added together, is going to give you 90 degrees. So when you find something that's 90 degrees, you know they are going to be complementary. And then finally, letter C. If you were to add 128 and 62, what do you get? That's going to give you 190 degrees. That's neither supplementary nor complementary. So here you would say neither. Go ahead and pause the video and give these a try here. This says, tell whether the angles are complementary, supplementary, or neither. So if you were to add 26 degrees and 64 degrees, you're going to get 90 degrees. So 90 degrees means it's complementary. Number 2, if you're going to add 44 degrees plus 136 degrees, you should get 180 degrees, which is supplementary. And lastly, number 3, 70 degrees plus 19 degrees is going to give you 89 degrees, so that's neither supplementary nor complementary. Example 2 says using complementary and supplementary angles. Tell whether the angles are complementary or supplementary, then find the value of x. Well, A has a big hint for us. That square here means it's 90 degrees. We know that 90 degrees is going to be complementary. So let's write that down. Okay, now we also know that these two angles here, when added together, are going to give us 90 degrees. So let's set up an equation. 4x plus 36 equals 90 degrees. I want to isolate my x. So first I have to undo my adding of 36 by subtracting 36 on both sides. Okay, and after that, I can cancel out my 36s. I'm left with 4x equals, so go ahead and do 90 minus 36. That's going to give you 54. And then finally, you're going to divide by 4 on both sides. Divide by 4 here, and divide by 4 here. Leaves an x value. Let me move this up just a little bit. That's going to equal hopefully you got 13.5 or 13.5 degrees, right? So I'm done with letter A. For letter B, I have a big hint here because there's a straight line. So x plus x minus 4 is equal to a straight line. Straight lines always measure 180 degrees. So I know this here is going to be supplementary. And let's go ahead and set up our equation. We know that x plus x minus 4 is now going to equal, instead of 190, we have a straight line, so it's 180 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and combine my x's together. X plus x is 2x. Minus 4 is now going to equal 180. I want to undo my subtraction first by adding 4 on both sides. And then I now get 2x equals 184. And finally, I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides to get my variable alone. Move this up just a little bit. And finally, I get x equals 184 divided by 2 should give you 92 degrees. Example 3 is about constructing angles. It says draw a pair of adjacent supplementary angles so that one angle has a measure of 60 degrees. So our steps say to use a protractor to draw a 60-degree angle, and then step 2 says to extend one of the sides to form a line. So let me go ahead and find a protractor here. Alright, like what we've done before, we always start by drawing a straight line. So here's my straight line. I'm going to put a dot at the end, just like I have been teaching everybody. That's my dot for now. I'm going to line up my protractor with my dot. Whoops. Let's get this one here. Protractor with a dot. And make sure it's straight with a 0. Okay, and then I need to mark where my 60 degrees is. So start counting with the existing horizontal line that you drew. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I put my dot there. That dot is going to help me connect the line, the dots together to make my second line. So here I need a straight line. I'm going to connect my two dots together. Remember, step 2 says extend one of the sides to form a line. So I need to draw my horizontal line and make it just a little bit longer. And now I have two angles that form 180 degrees. They're supplementary. So here is one angle. Here's another angle. We can even label them. So I know that this one here was 60 degrees because we measured it. And then this could be X if you wanted to make it X. So that's how you construct two angles that are supplementary. Let's pause the video and give you a chance to try numbers 4 and 5 on your own. It says tell whether the angles are complementary or supplementary, then find the value of X. Okay, so for number 4, hopefully you got supplementary because they do make a straight line. And then you have to set up your equation. 4x plus 5 plus 41 equals 180. And then you're going to solve it. So you're going to combine your numbers together. Those are the like terms. That's going to give you 46. Okay, equals 180. And then you're going to subtract the 46 on both sides. Okay, then you're left with 4x equals, what do you get? So 180 minus 46 is going to give you 134. And then finally you're going to divide by 4 on both sides. Okay, so you get x is equal to 33.5 or 33.5 degrees. Okay, number 5, hopefully you got complementary. That red square here is a big hint that tells you it's 90 degrees. Let's set up our equation. X plus 2x minus 3 is going to equal 90 degrees. Combine our like terms. X and 2x give you 3x. Subtract 3 equals 90. We're just bringing everything down. Okay, now we're going to undo our subtraction. So we're going to add 3 here, and we're going to add 3 here. And we're left with 3x equals 93. Last step, we need to divide by 3 to get our x alone. And we're going to get x equals 31 degrees.